Okay, so today's video has taken place over many days, but it's going to mainly be about shaping the mannequin to be me, making a corselet and testing my pattern in a corselet, and then testing my pattern as like the actual lace silk mock-up of the dress, um, and trying to fix that and figure that all out. Yeah, anyway, hope you enjoy. So here I am adding a bunch of lines. I kind of just mark up the styrofoam mannequin with my measurements so that I can start cutting it apart. Okay, so I haven't filmed for a little while. I was working, like actual job, but in the meantime, after purchasing the mannequin, I had to reshape the mannequin to be my shapes. I'm still working on that, but I got all of like the carving done. So in some places, like the waist and like the bust area, I had to make the mannequin, I had to take down the styrofoam. So I used a bread knife, cut off the styrofoam. That made a huge mess. And also sounded like nails on chalkboard. So that was a really crappy job. But anyway, I've taken everything down where it needs to go down. And now I just have to build up. So there's a couple places that need built up, like the hip area of this mannequin needs to increase. And then I am also going to put padding kind of like over the whole thing. I want the mannequin to, like, when I measure it loosely, be like my measurements loosely, and then when I like squeeze it or measure it tightly, it's my measurements when you squeeze me tight. So the waist needs padding because the waist can be squeezed, and the bust area needs padding because the bust can be squeezed, and then the hip needs a whole bunch of padding just kind of built up almost hard, and then the back side needs some padding that's squishable. So anyway, I don't have any special padding for this. I was just going to use like old batting from a blanket. I can actually show some. Yeah, this stuff. I'm just gonna use like an old blanket batting. This is a piece for something else that I'm making. That's why it's like shaped like a real panel. But anyway, yeah, and I'll just build it up on the mannequin so that the mannequin size is mine. And then I'm going to hopefully just pull the old fabric cover for this mannequin over the top of it again. Yeah, oh, I'm also going to use glue and water to keep the styrofoam on the mannequin at this point. So I'm gonna paint it with glue and water, and I think that that will hold the styrofoam in. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing now. So I have my glue and Mod Podge mixture. This was Granny's idea to keep the styrofoam from going everywhere, because I've been fighting styrofoam for the last week in my house, and it's a never-ending battle, and it's awful. So awful. Okay, let's see how she works. I had to do this glue application, I think 3 different times, so 3 layers before it finally kept the styrofoam on the body. While my mannequin was drying, I decided to make the corselet. So here I'm tracing it out onto an old curtain, and then I start cutting it out, and eventually start putting her together. This curtain was in pretty rough shape, so the corselet itself is kind of ratchet, but I just wanted to use it. I didn't have a lot of extra fabric laying around, and yeah, this stuff worked. Then I ironed and cut out all of the pieces for the lining. This is going to be the lining fabric, this really fun, I don't know, colored fabric. Once the glue had dried on the mannequin, I decided to start batting it up. I had no idea what I was doing here. It was kind of just trial and error. I thought maybe I had to cut out like specific piece shapes, or maybe I could just like build it up with scraps that I had. Yeah, this took a while. And it honestly didn't end up turning out like perfect. I definitely think there's a learning curve to this. I tried gluing it on at first. That didn't work. Then I tried kind of sewing it. Even now that it's all done, I don't really know how to do this. I I definitely feel like I want to redo this at some point, but I don't have any ideas for how to do better. I've seen some people on the internet use bra foam, which I guess you can get from foam places. Oh yeah, at one point I tried like melting the plastic onto it with the iron on a really high heat. Yeah, that didn't work either. Good try, Ave. Anyway, yeah, it didn't turn out perfect. The mannequin even now is bigger than I am in some places and then smaller in others. But it's a lot closer, so I guess you do what you can do. Once I figured I had got the mannequin really close to my size, or what I thought was really close at the time, I overlaid it with, I think I used 3 panels of batting at the very end, glued them into place with some fabric glue. The fabric glue definitely works the best for like nailing down this batting. Yeah, I just cut out 3 panels and I covered the entire thing so that it was all like a little bit squishy in most places. Then I thought about trying to glue the batting to the bottom. Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, and I had to pull that polyester over the top. That took a bit, but we got her done. And then I just pinned it in place because pinning definitely worked better than the glue. First attempt was glue. That was a fail. And then I was like, whatever, I'll just use pins. So I put about 100 pins in the bottom of the thing. With the mannequin done, I decided to start sewing again. So I started with the corselet. Here I am sewing the corselet together. And then you can also see the colorful fabric that I'm going to use to sew the lining together at the same time. I used quite a big seam allowance for this. I think I used like 1.5 centimeters, or maybe even more. And it still turned out too big. So yeah, I don't know what happened there. Everything's too big recently. I made a whole bunch of bias tape out of some old fabric, and then I sewed that into the corselet for my boning channels. The bias tape didn't turn out perfect. It was my first time making bias tape. I always buy it, but yeah, anyway, I feel like I'll get better at this. I don't know if I like the bias tape for the boning channels. I think I'm still a fan of gross grain ribbon, which is what I used for the Givenchy dress. So I actually went out and bought a whole bunch more of that for the final dress. There's a good chance I don't like the bias tape just because I'm not very good at making it. I mean, it does bend around curves well, so maybe I'll give it another shot. And I was also using pretty trashy fabric, so yeah, that could have been my issue. But anyway, yeah, I ended up throwing in a bunch of boning channels, and then I boned the entire thing just with zip ties. I originally put the corselet on the mannequin, but here's where I realized it wasn't my exact body measurements and that I was still gonna have to try everything on. Okay, so this is me with the corselet mock-up with the like zip ties for boning. So the bust area won't fit very good, and neither should these side pieces because the boning is wrong, and it needs a different boning. So those wrinkles I can kind of ignore. I do like the center boning channel. I think that's nice. I definitely feel like I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I think I need to make it smaller because I have it like tightened as much as it can go, and you're supposed to have like a little gap in it, and there's no gap. So I think it can be shrunk a little bit, which like I don't think I'll alter the pattern pieces for that. I think I'll just like change my seam allowance because it seems to be big like everywhere. Yeah, but the like side seam is perfect. The princess seams are also really good. I do think I'll finish the seams differently. Like I press them open. I'm gonna change that. Okay, now I'm just like talking again like I did last time, and nothing that I'm saying is of any importance for anyone who would watch this. But anyway, yeah, so here's the corselet mock-up on me. Yeah, the idea is that the dress would be tight to where this corselet finishes, and then it will flare out from there. So yeah, I think it's a good spot. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, not many changes. Not many changes. It does need a waist tape. I haven't put a waist tape in yet, so it should fit a little bit better after that. Here I sew in some tailor's canvas to add volume to the hip section, and I also put the waist tape in so that the corselet has a little bit more structure. And then I'll rebone it, and I'll close up all the boning channels with the boning inside them. Oh right, so I also decided to add this across bust boning that I had seen done before in a couple of modern gowns, and I didn't know if I'd like the shape of it or what it added, but I think it ended up being okay. Okay, so after a long day of work, Claudette's wedding dress came in the mail, so I got to unbox that at night, which was really fun. I see some white! Woo! Okay, here. I'll turn you around so you can see it too. Here we go! Ah! Okay, let's pull it out. Please excuse the pajamas. I was in bed when the mailman dropped it off.
This is the mail.
Ooh, how fun! I actually like the way it's finished. It's like jellyfish. It's all poofy. Let's see what are the thoughts? It's hard to see. There you go. Poofy mode. Poofy mode. Okay. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Wow. This is so gorgeous. Ah, this is so pretty. Look at this. I love this part. I have to use this. This is so nice. Okay. Yeah, that. Any ideas for that little piece would be great because I have none so far. So, yeah. I remember when we first opened it in her box in Cranbrook. Claudette and I thought that the blue, or at least I initially thought that the blue was like a discoloration. And I was like, how did that happen? No, just packaging paper. Here it is. Ah, so pretty. Ah, okay. Thank you, Claudette. Okay, so after that fun little interlude, let's get back to sewing. Here I am working on the, oh, this is the mock-up. So yeah, this is a lace that I found from a lace curtain at the thrift store. It's red, and I put it on top of some like organza-y fabric because I figured that that would act similar, hopefully, to the silk. I know it's not going to be perfect, but I wanted to know what it was like to work with the lace on top of some sort of really like slippery fabric. I just wanted to know how difficult it would be. Actually, here you can see a really good view of the corselet for the first time. I ended up putting some interfacing on the bust area so that it smoothed it out a little bit and made it slightly stiffer. And then I put the first mock-up on top. So the first mock-up had the like the two bust layers, that two bust shapes that I thought I wanted, or that I might want. I don't know, still trying to figure that out. And then I'm checking the fit here. Okay, so I had to take it off the mannequin and try it on myself because I was so confused. I was like, why is it wrinkling on the one side? And it's like, it doesn't fit. Like, what is happening? Anyway, so I put a zipper in it so I could try it on myself. And yeah, something went wrong. So this is it, but the front panel is like at this slant, like you can see here. Like it should go like, you know, straight down and then flare out, but it doesn't. It goes like this way. So I think something went wrong with this side panel, like this one here and this one here, to make it not fit right. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna figure that out, but I have to get back to work, so I'll be troubleshooting that afterwards. I don't think it's a pattern problem. I can figure out if it's a pattern problem just by quickly putting a zipper in this. So I'll do that right quick when I get back from work. I'll put a pattern or a zip in the lining, and I'll see if it's like a pattern problem. But I can lay the lining on top of the mannequin, and it doesn't do like what this one did. So I think, yeah, no, it doesn't. So I'm like pretty positive that it's I did something wrong with one of these panels, and now that's causing me the trouble. So anyway, yeah, I'll probably have to redo one or both of these panels, and then yeah, sew it all back together again. But other than that, I do like the way that this is done. I definitely need to finish on my dress. I'll have to finish the raw edge of this before I sew everything together, and then also the raw edge on the inside. But yeah, the things that you learn. Oh, and I'll put I need to put interfacing in the stiff interfacing that I have on these. I need to bring it down further than I did. So I just did it for like the actual triangle-y bits, but I need to bring it down like past the bust. So I'll probably bring it down to about here. And I need to do that on both the inner layer and then the outer layer. And I think that will give better shaping. But I am liking it. I like the little Tinkerbell effect. It's fun. Okay, bye.
So after finding all those problems, it was time to do a whole bunch of seam ripping. Good thing I have this really, really awesome seam ripper, and a laptop to watch TV on. So that's what I did for a couple hours there. I put the zip in the lining, and then I tried it on myself, and I found that I had none of that weird cockeyed issue, so then I knew that it wasn't a pattern base issue. So that was really nice to find out. But it unfortunately meant that I had to get back to seam ripping. So yeah, more hours. After rebuilding the corselet with better side pieces, front side pieces, I decided to play around a little bit with the mannequin now that I had one, and try my hand at draping a skirt, and I didn't like that, how it looked. So yep, I took it off. And then I tried draping it underneath to see if I would like the red skirt for this. But yeah, I ended up kind of deciding that it wasn't floofy enough and that I needed something more. The something more ended up being a gathered curtain fabric that I gathered and gathered and gathered and gathered and gathered and gathered. This felt like a never-ending, yeah, this took me hours and hours and hours to gather all this. I didn't even record for most of this just because it took so long, so I kind of just recorded the one day that I did it. After it was all gathered up, though, it was really fun to play around with because it was so, like, voluminous. So yeah, I had some fun playing around with that. I then pinned all of the gathers to the bottom of the petals to see how that looked. This is it. It's cute. I think it's good. The leaves definitely need interfacing, and there needs to be like a petticoat or something underneath so that it fluffs out, but I think it's adorable in a fun little way. Let's cut out this tulle. I brought my mug of tea because it's a really stormy day today. You probably can't see it out the window if I turn you, but yeah, it's wind is howling, it's raining. Anyway, so I was like tea when the weather's like this out here in the Maritimes. For some reason, I always drink my Storm Watchers tea from Murchie's. Shout out Kyle, thanks for bringing me some last time you came to visit. But yeah, I always drink Storm Watchers out of my little hedgehog mug because it just feels like the perfect mug on a stormy day. I don't know why. Anyway, little quirks, still little things. So yeah, I'm gonna cut out all the tulle now and we'll get like a fast motion of that. I didn't realize that I never explained this. Okay, so I'm cutting out tulle because I decided to make the petticoat. And I figured that I'd make the petticoat and then I'd put the interfacing in the petals and I put the petticoat under it and, you know, it would all look better. Okay, so it's time to gather the tulle. I've recently started gathering a different way where I do like a zigzag stitch over top of like a thick crochet thread. So it's like a cotton yarn. And I just, oops, I popped a hole in this. Oh well. Should be invisible soon. Yeah, so I just like, I put this here and then I do a zigzag stitch over top of it. Yeah, so that's how I've started gathering because otherwise your threads break so easily when you're trying to like pull the one bottom thread of a basting stitch and like, I don't know, I just can't be bothered. Like, I know that it means you're having to buy like extra thread that you're going through, but like, I don't know, I crochet anyway. I have this laying around, so. And like you go through so little of it, you know, like in one really gathered skirt, maybe you go through 4 yards. Like, I don't care. That makes my life so much easier. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I'll just start gathering the tulle and I'm just gonna gather, and we're gonna notice like this gigantic pile of tulle will probably build up behind the sewing machine here. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Ooh, my cookies. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I do use a special foot for this as well. I use that foot that has like the guideline for whatever this is. Not sure what the foot's for, but yeah. I guess I could show that closer. This long foot with like the guide. Yeah. So once again, I start my journey of gathering. Yeah, this also took hours, so it was my entire day off. Once the tutu was done, I got to put it on the mannequin and then put the draft on top of it. Okay, so I got the tulle all gathered up. It actually gathered up into like bulk a lot faster than I thought it would. Like when it's on the bolt, it doesn't look like it's going to be very much, which makes sense why people use this for like adding volume to things. It's also so light. It's a lot easier to work with than I thought it was going to be. Like the cutting really sucks. You kind of have to go layer by layer. I tried to cut it like 2 at a time and it was just like a disaster. Like it just slides all over the place. I feel like if you used a higher quality tool, like a cotton tool, you'd have less issue with that, but I just grabbed what the fabric store had and it was like some sort of plastic polyester, like, I don't know. It's like petrol tool. It has stretch to it, which I thought would be like irritating when sewing, but it's fun. Like if you were trying to do anything like fancy, or really structured out of it, yeah, it would suck, but I'm not. I'm just trying to gather it up, so it was fine. Anyway, so I got it made and it's under here now. So actually we'll just take the dress itself off. So you can see just the petticoat, or like the fashion fabric off. Okay, so here's the corselet and then the tulle. I haven't sewn the tulle to the corselet, I've just like pinned it on. So yeah. Anyway, we have this, oh my god. Yeah. Okay, so we have it's kind of like a tutu now. Looks okay here. I know nothing about petticoat making, so I probably should have researched that before just like trying to figure it out myself, but they look like they're really just like gathered tulle. I can see why, like, a lot of them are layered, right? Like different layers and stuff. I can see why people do that, because when I place the fashion fabric over top of this, the like shape of the dress takes on this very like fitted, and then like you get this like boom and then boom, you know? I don't like that. I want it to be like more gradual. I don't want it to look like there's like this like thing underneath that I'm wearing. So yeah, I need to figure out how to do that. So I'll have to change some stuff around there. Also, I'm pretty sure I don't want the bones to be seen through, this is like a side note, not having to do with the skirt. I don't want the bones to be seen through my fashion fabric on top. So I think I want to add like a interfacing or some sort of like batting on top of the corselet so that it's all like really smooth and you can't see anything. So yeah, I did buy some batting, or it's not batting, it's like an interfacing that's like really thick, almost like an interfacing batting. Not sure what that would be called, but I think that's what I'm gonna try using to make the corselet really like smooth and stuff. Yeah, so I have to try that at some point later. Anyway, what I think I'm gonna do for the like here is figure out some way to make like a top layer that's not as gathered, like not quite as bulky. And then I'll attach this afterwards to make it kind of like semi-gathered and then like boom, like really poofy. But I also do love the look of the poof. Like it's actually really fun to look at like now. Yeah. Anyway, I'll put the fashion fabric on so we can like look at what I mean when I say I don't like the look. So go. This goes right here. This. Then I'll zip you up at the back. Okay. So yeah, you can see here that like it's just like so obvious where the tulle starts underneath and I don't like that. I want it to be like gradual and smooth. So yeah, I think the game plan is to make the petticoat more gradual so I don't have this like clear ledge where it starts. So we'll come back and we'll try that out. And then I also think that interfacing I was talking about earlier on the fashion fabric itself kind of needs to go in now so that I can see what things are gonna look like. So I'm gonna have to unpick the like bust, or not the bust, but like the bodice. I'm gonna have to unpick the bodice on all these seams, probably up to about, I don't know, maybe like just below the waistline, and then add the interfacing in. This also needs interfacing, so I don't know, maybe I just unpick all of it and sew it all back together with interfacing. I kind of don't want to, but I'm also not sure what interfacing I want to use. So that's another reason I don't want to unpick it. I have a couple different options, but yeah, I think the bottom chunk like this needs to be a really stiff interfacing, so I think I know what I'm going to use for that. Like I have some, but the top here, I don't know, maybe just some of like iron-on that I have for now. Anyway, we'll see what I do. I'll video it. Yeah, so hopefully next time we put it on the mannequin, it looks a little bit better. Okay, so here I am sewing the one gathered tulle to the other tulle. I'm just top stitching it on. I have no idea what I'm doing. We'll see if it works. I'm watching YouTube videos of another woman make her wedding dress, and she's also having issues. So it makes me feel better. Yeah, I don't know where everyone's getting these petticoats. Like, the videos I'm watching online, it's like everyone just has to make their wedding dress out of the fashion fabric, and there's like no talk of understructure whatsoever. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really understand. Like, are there petticoat stores? I don't think there are. Are they all like ballerinas, so they just have like big tulle skirts laying around? Like, that doesn't make sense either. I don't really understand. Yeah, I understand that like it's under the dress, right? So it's under the fashion fabric, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like. It can just look like trash. So like maybe everyone just kind of figures it out, and then, you know, doesn't matter like what it looks like, and they never show it because, you know, it doesn't look very good because they just tried to figure it out too. So I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'll figure it out. We'll see if I'm doing it right. Yep.
By this point, I felt like I had been gathering all different types of fabrics my entire life. Like, it felt like there was nothing but gathering.
Okay. This is hilarious. So, obviously, I have no idea what I'm doing, because what is this? Like, it looks like those neck things, you know, from like the 18th century. Yeah, I like, I made it worse. Yeah, I guess like pin it to the mannequin and see what we get, but as of right now, okay. Wow, I like really underestimated the volume that tulle gives. I mean, like, nothing to do but try it, I guess. I feel like when I made the Givenchy gown, because I didn't make the petticoat for that, I kind of like have hugely underestimated a large part of the construction that I don't understand at all. But anyway, wow, great. I have exactly the same problem I had before. Like, it just balloons out, like. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe if this would like stand. I mean, it gives it volume. Like, I cannot deny that. Here I decided that maybe if I focused on the top for a little bit, like the finishing details for the triangles at the top, then my subconscious would somehow fix the skirt. So yeah, I added this little bit of like trim to the top. Hated it. Yeah. Okay, I'm kind of torn a little bit. I thought I wanted to do like that recreation with like the dress that I wore, insert picture, from the vintage shop that I tried on in Calgary. Thought I really liked the top, like the like zigzaggy thing going on here. But I'm kind of not liking it anymore. I know that like the one that I tried on had like both the shape that I normally like that 50s one, and then also like this fun zigzaggy thing on top. And the more I'm playing with it, the more I don't like it. And I feel like, I don't know if it's because it feels like everything's going wrong, or if it's because I actually don't like it. And I don't know if I originally designed it that way because I was afraid of like, you know, doing it myself and like doing a different shape. And I really just wanted to have like a base structure that I like just copied from someone else. But I think I'm gonna change the bust shape. I think I'm gonna change it to just be like that one classic shape. I don't think I want the 2 layers anymore. Not only is it a lot of extra work, but I just think I have one here, you know? I just like this more. Like, I just look at this shape and I'm like, I like that way more than this, you know? And I understand this isn't finished, so like obviously like that plays on it as well, but I think this is more elegant. It's more me. I know that I like the look of it because I wore it to Matt and Katie's wedding. I did it in that other Givenchy gown, so I might as well just do that. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of this spiky one, and just go with the shape that I like, this one here. Yeah, I also don't like this like floofy at the top that I thought I would. I know that in the other dress it's made out of tulle, so it would have a different look, more like, you know, floofy looking, but I don't like it. However, the look of it down here, the floofy, I do like that. Like, I think that looks really good with that added there, kind of like this, you know, and there would be like this like nice extra layer of fluff. Hard to see in the lighting, but yeah, I think I do like that. I definitely need to figure something out with the petticoat to make it not so stark, but again, maybe if I finally put interfacing in here, it'll make a difference. So yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take this apart and put some interfacing in. I can't fix the bust shape now because I've already obviously made it and I don't have any more of the fabric for this mock-up to, you know, fix it and try again, but I think I've decided that that is the shape. I mean, like, what do you guys think? Do you like the spikes? Should I keep them? Because they do tie into the shape down here, but I think if I have this, it just like, it also contrasts the, maybe if I pin it in, I'll pin it so it's easier for everyone to envision. I think this like soft shape kind of contrasts the like petals down at the bottom in a nice way, and makes them like even more noticeable for these like drop waist petals. Yeah, I think I like that look, you know? Like, thoughts? Opinions? Should I keep the spikes or should I do something like this? Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so onwards, seam ripping. I have words. I feel like it's never ending. But yeah, it's okay. It's a good day for it. Nice and stormy.
The interfacing I ended up using for the pedal part was just whatever scrap I had around the house. It's not the stiffest stuff, and it's definitely not what I plan to use in the final dress, but it was really nice to just be able to iron on.
Okay, we got interfacing on this now, so let's see if that fixes the problem. Oh, shit. Okay, wait. Wow. I think... Whoa. I think the interfacing fixed a lot of my problems. I mean, it's really hard to tell without the ruffles on it, but I think it's okay. Okay, it looks like really awful on camera. I don't know. But I think with like the fabric helping pull it down, I guess we'll see. I gotta cut out some more fabric, make some more long strips of like that chiffon organza stuff, and then I gotta make that gathered like off-white fashion fabric, like a bigger piece, and then I will attach it and we'll see how she's going. Yay! So I just spent the better part of, I don't know, 2 hours basting the skirt onto the bodice. I finally got it done, and I stood up and I kind of like looked at it from afar, and there's no petticoat under it right now. And I was like, wait, the shape is perfect. So I think I spent almost my entire day, like, I don't know, 6 hours of work on that yellow tulle petticoat that I'm not going to use. I'll show you guys the actual dress. I'll go put it on and we'll see. Okay, so I just put the dress on, the like fashion fabric part of the dress. I don't have the corselet on. The corselet's a little bit big, and I also just wanted to see like the fit of this really quickly. This is also a little bit big. I don't know why everything's suddenly big on me. I don't know. Anyway, I have to do some edits to that, but I didn't put the petticoat on. And as per my most recent realization, the fit is perfect. Like the level of floofy outie, I love. I think this is awesome. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. I thought that I would want the skirt to like all be the same length, so I'd have to like trim it, but I actually love the like alternating length, like due to the like up and down. I have to like close this a little bit because it's a little bit extra long in the back, which I think is also kind of cute. But yeah, like imagine this, but like T-length, so a little bit longer, down to, you know, about there. And with like the alternating length, I think that's super fun, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I make it all the same length? Am I just, you know, wanting less work for myself? But like, if it was all the same length, what would the thoughts be? Yeah, no, I kind of like it like alternating. The top, I'm still thinking I do the shape like this. Yeah, I think that looks better. I think I'll do that. It'll be higher up. This is just like a low one because I had to get rid of the spikes. But anyway, yeah, so this is the mock-up without the corselet under it. Basically completely complete. I might even do like a little bit of testing on this to see like how I feel about a lace up back, and put some boning in this itself. Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'll see what I can do. Storage low, tap to manage. Well, probably because I've been taking so many friggin' videos. Okay, anyway, well, talk to you guys later.